You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men power want? More power.
My name is luca-zanna. I was an Italian by birth, and I became an American by choice. Our lives and freedoms are in danger. This is not a drill. If you're listening to this broadcasting, you are the resistance.
All systems go.
Welcome to Love, Guns, and Freedom.
We're not afraid.
Hello everybody, good morning, this is luca-zanna. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom on K-Talks 1340 AM and also 104.1 FM. Don't forget, if you're on the internet, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Another Sunday, another show. And guess what? There is always something new, or at least something to talk about it. I want to talk about many things this Sunday. I'm very disturbed about the elections. Why? Not because, who wins or lose in general. If people winning would still apply the Constitution, I would be fine, because our inalienable rights should be protected. The problem now that we're really living in this sort of democracy that is the first thing before a totalitarian government, when they brainwash the masses that just because they have 51% of the vote, they can take your life, they can take your property, they can take your rights. That's why. So, ideally, in our original republic, no matter who wins, even if you're a minority, your inalienable rights, they will be protected. Now what we are facing instead, it's a push from the globalists to completely destroy the fiber of this republic and to transform the next stage, what they call the democracy, that will be the first stage of a total tyranny. Yes, that's why they need the bodies of these millions and millions of people breaking the lines of our borders, coming in here legally and also illegally. Don't get me wrong, I'm a legal immigrant, and the guest I have on my show is a legal immigrant. But there is more than just paperwork. There is more than just have the right visa. There is also, in my opinion, the first test should be when you apply for a citizenship, understanding the foundation of this country and show little love. Doesn't mean that we need to agree with everything, especially with the government. I'm the first one to be critical. But when it comes down to the principle of this republic, we should show that we appreciate it. We should show that at least we understand it. We don't want to come here to transform it in something else or something that we left. That's why I'm concerned. That's why I really see that our freedom, it's just maybe one election away. And you look at that. I mean, we had here in Arizona this run, this Senate run for the U.S. Senate. There is this Kristen Sinema, the Democrat, I wouldn't even like to call it Democrat, she's a plain communist, and the other one, she's a neocon, don't get me wrong, Martha McSally, I'm not really a fan of, but the point is now, we are facing that Kristen Sinema in an area like Arizona, that's supposed to be a pretty conservative area for the country, she's leading by maybe a couple points, and of course, voter fraud is another issue that we never really addressed it, because somehow it's okay for whoever is winning now. So my point is, we are really under attack. Now, the same way, I want to share with you what happened already in countries like Italy, Europe, that never had the rights that we have. They never had the constitution that we have. But the same way also they're facing another problem. They're facing these complete waves of open borders, planned by design. Long time ago, I've been talking about this, the Kalergi plan, many times. And the reality is there is no more Europe. I mean, there is no more Italy. Italy died at least 30 years ago when the European community completely took over. And when I left Italy, in 1998, that was exactly the last gasp of nationalism. Now, every European country is pretty much subservient under the European community. And the fact is they can only make decisions. But there is hope. I really see in the last elections in Italy with the new, let's say, wave of people that they got into politics, especially from the North Europe, the Lega, it's kind of a nationalist form of movement of government. I really have hope, at least they're trying their best. And I have a friend of mine that I had on my show several times. He's a former Italian, and maybe still Italian, but also he's an American. And I really like it because he's a great guy. He's into guns. He's into freedom. And also he has a great channel about guns. The guy does guns, make guns for a living, and also he enjoys shooting guns. So his name is Eltenda, and he just came back from Italy a few weeks ago. And I would like to ask him a little bit, what is the vibe now after coming back, especially after the new form of government, the new, political wave of populism and pro-nationalism that we have now, or they have now in Italy. Fabrizio Eltenda, are you there?
Hey, what's up, Gianluca? How are you doing today?
Very good, my friend, very good. So listen, you enjoy your honeymoon, right? There was a honeymoon. I saw a photo with your lady there.
Yes, every time we go to Italy is an honeymoon, so.
Very good.
Different.
You're from Venice.
Go ahead.
You are from Venice, correct?
Yes, sir.
Very
100%
good.
Venetian.
Very good. So I saw your beautiful photo you had in Venice, and tell me a little bit, what was your impression since you went there, looking at places that, right now, after all, there is a new, I think there is a new type of atmosphere. I saw at least there is an attempt from the federal government. It is not the federal government, but the national government in Italy with Prime Minister Salvini to try to straighten things up, to try and reclaim sovereignty, to try to say, you want to come here, you come from the gate, you don't just jump the fence. Pretty much what Trump is trying to do. What do you think about Italy right now since you went there last time?
Well, first of all, I go over there roughly every 2 years, try to at least. Which is getting cheaper actually, thank God. But when I go over there, the last time I was over there, literally, I don't want to exaggerate, but when we were walking in some part of Mestre, which is a suburban part of Venice, is close, and in order to get to this city, which has more shops and stuff, you have to cross an underground tunnel underneath the train station, of Mestre. And when you go outside, normally there is certainly people that hang around over there and sell drugs and live doing this stuff. And I felt really, really, really not safe. And as a matter of fact, I don't want to say I was reaching for my right side, but sometimes I felt like I need. But and then 2 years after, I have to say there has been an improvement, at least in certainly cities. But let me say this, I think it's also due to the political party in charge, you know what I mean? Because the big problem is, A, with the Italian security, let's go back, sorry. The big problem is, A, who's in charge, politically speaking, B, who are the magistrati, whatever you call them over here, you know what I mean? The
judges,
the law,
the judges,
the judges, sorry, because in Italy, most of them the majority of them were involved in the late 60 and 70 university stuff. So most of them are like left wing, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
So most of the time they tend to have a velvet glove with criminals.
Oh, it's very
true. And that being said, I'm not. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was talking about velvet glove. Glove. This is like out of their mind. Did you read the news lately? In Italy, there was a drug dealer. A drug dealer that he got caught with I don't know how many pounds of drugs, and the judge not only they released him, but ordered to the police to give him his money back because he was stealing for needs. You can make these things up. Try to, you as an Italian, go out there and forget about selling drugs. Just break any law, any stupid law on their book. Just you don't pay your freaking canone. The TV, maybe people don't understand that in Italy, if you own a TV, just because you own the TV is not really yours, but it's monopoly of the state. That means you are forced to pay every year a tax. And if you don't pay that tax, as a poor Italian bastard working probably 2 jobs to make your end meet at your end, how you say your end, anyway, just to make it true, you will get probably fined, and if you don't pay the fine, they come at your home with the carabinieri. This is serious. And instead, this criminal, probably not even with any legal visa to be in the country, he got caught selling drugs. And then at that point he got released, and the judge ordered to give him his money back. That's the reality now of the justice. It's literally blind. Go ahead. Sorry.
And there was no problem. There was also a girl, very young girl. Well, let's say there's 2 cases of young girl that looking for drugs, unfortunately. and they got somehow catched by these, you know, I don't want to say African, let's say African in general. They're from, and they
were from Africa. They were from Africans, and they were also Muslims, I guess, at least all of them.
Muslims, yeah. And they rape her for like 12 hours, torture and rape her for 12 hours. And then they kill her, chop her, and make the body disappear. Another one got the same thing. She was able to go to the police and denounce the fact. And the lawyer says, some politician on the left says that is normal because they feel like they're threatened by the new right wing at the government. You know what I mean? I'm like, what's going on? I mean, it's craziness. You know what I mean? I don't like extremists in either side. You know what I mean? I come from a family. You know what I mean?
No, I understand. You know, the point is, this is not about extremism. This is about, first of all, reclaim one thing. Do we have a sovereignty or not? If we have sovereignty, if we have the control of our borders, you know, at that point, we want to just be sure that we control who comes in, who doesn't come here. As simple as that. Like, for example, I'm sure all these politicians, all these people that they somehow they are for open borders, even in Italy, they have gates and doors, and they have walls at their homes. Not everybody can walk in and say, hey, open your fridge and give me your food. No. And the same story with our country, because right now, look where we are. These utopistic, by the way, some of the people, they are naive. I understand that. They're really being brainwashed to think that we live in this kumbaya, where everybody's going to walk hand in hand, you know, black, white, orange, and yellow. I wish that. Yeah. I really am. I have no problems. As I said, you know, I don't judge you by the color of your skin. I judge you by your actions. But the reality is that 80% of these people, that they're forcing the entrance into Europe, they come from third world countries. That's a fact. Sorry, when you come from Nigeria or any other country that they've been living in poverty and believing also with a cultural background belonging to Neanderthal or pre-Neanderthal times, you know, when you're a Muslim, you come with the culture, you look what they're doing now. I mean, women are treated like garbage, okay? I mean, everything you think about Sharia law and everything else. But more important, we cannot afford it. Italy is not like Russia that you can put, you know, so much big spaces. We already overtaxed, and more important, we don't have even a freaking space to be all together there. So there must be a control. Simple as that. But now, you know, the plan is in full action. And I don't know if it's too late, honestly, because, you know, it's been going on for 20, 30 years. Now look what they go on the streets. Just a few days ago, all these people, they don't even want to be Italians. You know, they're coming now as Africans. That's the way. The former minister from the African rights or whatever, immigrant rights, I forgot her name. She's a black lady from Africa. She formed this new party in Italy just for Africans. So think about it. They demand money, they demand food, they demand work. This is impossible, insustainable, and I think culturally is a suicide. I mean, Italy is gone. Yeah. In one generation from now, if I come back to Italy in 10 years from now, probably I need to learn Nigerian before I go around the streets. So what do you think?
Yeah, right. Yeah. In the meantime, you know, the main concern about people is, you know, I'll make you a stupid example. It's nothing, maybe it has nothing to do with this. Just to give you an idea. You know my logo for my channel, okay?
Yeah.
Which I'm proud of it, you know, is the Venetian battle flag, you know?
Yeah.
The Lion of Venice, San Marco. For years, that exactly lion with the sword in his hand and the book closed was against the law actually showing the logo.
Wow.
Because it was related to the political party, you know, the Lega.
The
Liga Veneta, which is now part of Lega, of course. Yeah. It was supposed to be a racist thing, you know, but it was okay having a Che Guevara t-shirt.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You know, or if you put something, don't get me wrong, I don't like I said, any extremism. But if there was a guy that's a picture of Mussolini, okay? Well, it's his political belief. It's his right to do it, you know?
Yeah, but not in Italy, not in Italy, you know that, yep.
He got reported by a socialist that went to this bar, and the police is like, you know, I don't see nothing wrong. The phrase was actually, better live like a day. I'd rather to live a day like a lion and then 100 years like a sheep. We come actually for World War I on the Piave battle. But anyway, he got reported to the police and everything, which is craziness, you know. You know, and we have the communist partisan for years, like heroes, and Oh yes, they might have free Italy with the help of the American in English, but they commit a lot of crimes too.
Oh yeah,
you know?
and they commit a crime, and also now we are not to a new type of tyranny, because think about it, what you just said is so important. You go there, let's say you believe in even your history, okay? Doesn't mean that you must completely embrace everything about what Mussolini. I'm not a fan of Mussolini, but the point that was part of history. Some of our grandfathers fought against each other, and who was choosing to be with him and who choosing would be with the parties. That's fine, bad, whatever, but that's history, like the Civil War. Now, just the fact that you have, let's say, a souvenir, or let's say a photo of Mussolini, or anything that could be creating like some sort of supporting, even as a book. You know, I cannot read the Mein Kampf, you know, the Hitler book in Italy. I would be arrested, or at least my book would be confiscated. And if you have like a flag of the fascist flag, that would be a reato, that would be a crime. So the point that now, we're supposed to be free to exercise our ideas, we can't. But meanwhile, if you're a communist, we know very well that the communist in general, as ideology in history, he killed and murdered more people than probably Hitler himself. The numbers, talk. I mean, look at Mao Zedong, look at everything they've done in Russia with the gulags and all this stuff. Guess what? If you are, reading or professing to be a communist and you have communist memorabilia, probably they give you a medal in Italy. So much that you have in Italy now, roads and streets named after communist leaders.
Oh, yeah.
People that they kill and murder. So you see how this is not freedom. I mean, if you really want to be freedom, we should be able to read and study and, believe in whatever we want, of course. So Italy, unfortunately, it is just another occupied territory now under the control of the elites, because the bankers control it. And then, of course, you have the communists that they try always to destroy every other alternative idea or belief. And I tell you, Salvini is under attack. Don't you see every news every day, pretty much how they're trying to destroy him in every way?
Yeah, here too. If you look up all the, they censored the rebel flag, the southern flag, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they start taking down monuments, and like it's part of your heritage,
Yeah.
Maybe in the bad way, yes, but who knows what was right or was wrong? You know what I mean? I hear a bunch of different things. I hear that Lincoln actually freed the slave but send them back home. You know what I mean? Somebody told me that. I don't know if it's true, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, even here, there is I don't believe, history is always written by the winners. That's the bottom line. So that's in every way.
But, cancel the past history is not, helping you. If you remember in Italy, we spent months talking about Greek and Romans and Persians. And then you get to April or May, which you got 1 month left of school, and you do the 17, 18, and 19, and 100, in 3 weeks? And there's so much history. I mean, and that's centuries, very important,
No, I know, and I also, as I said, I try to study different points, whatever our school system gave us as facts, it's always been revised by the people in control.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, after the war was won, they wrote whatever they wanted to write. There are a lot of things that were not accurate, a lot of things that were unfortunately hidden. That's the fact. Now, what I really am happy a little bit, at least, of course, the fight is not even over, is not even far from over. Italy is showing that there is enough people, at least some people, that they really are tired to be completely humiliated and destroyed, because this is not just something of pride. This is really in your practical life. I mean, I have my mom, for example. She's alone there in Italy, in Rome, and I feel so bad. I'm trying to bring her here, and all this freaking, visa and stuff takes me years, and I'm an American citizen. Imagine, but the same way, she's there, and I can see her like any other elder person, a senior person in Italy. She go out in the shops. She doesn't even understand what's going on. Many people don't even speak the language. Always listen every day. You read the news. Women being raped, men being beaten up because they don't somehow, even on the buses, act of violence in Rome. These people, they come from third world countries, and they are racist, by the way. There was a video of this black guy, and he said to Italian man, "You are white, get up. This is my seat. I'm black." And he didn't even pay the ticket, by the way. These people don't even pay the ticket. They are coming now as masters. And only question of time, there will be the invaders, there will be the conquerors when they have the numbers. So I'm really concerned. All I can say, Mr. Salvini, I cannot vote because I renounced to my Italian citizenship, but I tell you, I bless you with my prayers here from Arizona, and I hope the Italian people will stand up, because this is the last chance you have, and I hope really they have the right tools to defend themselves. Did you hear the news about the new law that finally, under Salvini, the Prime Minister Salvini, the AR-15 platform rifle, semi-automatic of course, finally will be available to the civilian market. Did you hear anything about that?
Well, let's put it this way. I think there's a little bit of misunderstood when they post. Everything was tagging me on Facebook about it. It's already legal. Let's put it this way. It's legal. But the problem is you have to be a member of a club, sporting club. At least they used to. You know what I mean? Yeah. Your gun has to be registered, of course. You can only own a certain amount of rounds per year, per person. And so forth. So I didn't follow the new rules. I work with an Italian company. We do, I collaborate, Italian company do import-export, so I can see the restriction when I'm sending the stuff. So in one side, they got, compared to the state where I live, is in Illinois, they got better things than we do, paradoxically, but they got worse things, of course, in the other side.
What is the worst thing? What is the worst thing you think? I know that now technically you don't need to belong to a club, so you can have it at your home, something you can use for defense.
You can only keep it home. You know what I mean? If you gotta go to the range, you gotta tell them which way you're going to the range. The magazine thing is weird. I don't know. It used to be like 29 round max. Like you gotta pin your magazine, which is stupid, and depend on the gun too. For example, back in 2012, you could use an SKS, a Russian rifle, for hunting. Yeah. In theory, it's 10 rounds, you know what I mean? Nowadays, it's become like a military gun. And then you got gun that you collect, so you don't go shooting with. Like, for example, like you got like Carcano bolt-action rifle, World War II Italian rifle, elite infield, I don't know, black powder, Italian muskets from, you know what I mean? Those ones, you keep them in your collection. They're registered, but you can't take them to the range unless you declare them to the police. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Or something like that. That being said, unfortunately, I have a good source with this. I have an Italian magazine. I tell you what, I'm going to send it to you, Gianluca, later. Or maybe at least a photocopy to you.
Well, send me the link. Send me the link of the website. Maybe they have articles online. I can read them there too.
Sure. No. To you, I send you the magazine, or at least a copy of it. Then I bought in Italy. It says all the new European legislation. So
wow, that would be great. I mean, even if we could scan them and put them maybe on Facebook or something, it would be great.
Okay. That being said, there is a good channel. A friend of mine in Italy, unfortunately, is in Italian. Maybe one day we can talk with him, translate. Maybe it's a university kid, which, thank God, doesn't have his brainwash. He has some clear view about politics. And his channel is called Gun Passion 95. And he does really good video, with restriction that a student can have about guns. They can, of course, do a rifle every day or every week because, it doesn't have a lot of money. And also there's law restrictions. That being said, he did a really good video about the law, so you might want to check it out. And, there's some dark points.
Something happened to you, something happened to us. Are you still there? That was weird.
Yeah. Sorry,
okay,
I'm here.
Okay, listen, what I was reading here, I was reading major updates to the gun control wear. Previous 6 sporting guns allowed. Now 12 sporting guns. I like when they call it sporting guns. You must be, you have a gun for sport. God forbid if you use it to defend yourself and your freedom. The magazine capacity for long guns from 5 rounds to 10 rounds. And from 15 rounds to 20 rounds for short firearms. So that's now for, I think for short firearms, I think it might be for what, handguns? Then hunting and sporting license have been reduced from 6 to 5 years. Whoopie-doo.
Yep.
Reporting of the license directly to the police departments can now be done through certified mail. No legal obligation to inform cohabitees, people live with you or your firearm possession. Introduced to sport shooter authorization to purchase A6 and A7 class weapons. What is A6 and A7? Like AR-15?
Probably, see, but they got restriction on the magazine. The funny thing, let me make you an example. The funny thing, okay, an AR pistol, okay, in 9mm,
Yeah.
Okay, it's considered a pistol
Yeah.
in Italy, like an handgun. At least it used to. What is considered an SBR over here? So one of the most popular barrels for 5.56 in Italy are 11.5 inches, which in America is an SBR. In Italy, they can put an 11.5 inch, and they can put a regular buttstock, which in America would be a felony unless you don't do, the SBR paperwork.
Yeah. And let's say to people, SBR, people don't know what means exactly, if you don't mind.
Short barrel rifle.
Yes.
Short barrel rifle.
So bottom line, every rifle must be at least 16 inches barrel, unless you have the stamp, right? And shotgun, what is 18.5? I forgot.
Yeah, and then you can have a 14.5, but the flash hider has to be spot weld.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, it's, those, like here, if you, in Illinois, for example, if you want to get an SBR license or a stamp, like, see, it always stamps, like, that reminds me something back in time. Stamps. But anyway, in order to have one, you have to have a CNR license, which is a collectible and relics. It's a license you get for collect, buy, no sell, only buy, like vintage rifles. Everything made before 1966, okay? That allows you to go online and don't show your FOID card, which is a card that you have to have in order to own a gun in Illinois, okay? So you can go online and buy directly the rifle from an auction company or shop, as long as before 1966. That includes also ammo for that rifle. Sorry. Of course, you can sell them. You gotta register everything in the book, just in case if the ATF come in your house, which never happens, in theory. But when you're done with that, okay, you can apply for the SBR paperwork, okay, which takes I think it's $200, I think, and several months, of course, and you can try to apply for that. Other than that, I mean, it's always changing. In Italy, it so depends. It used to be every government goes up and they change gun laws, So 1 year, 5 rounds, 30 rounds were legal. The year after were illegal. So if you purchase them before, I don't know, you can keep them. Otherwise, you can't buy them.
I see.
There's always some.
But the good thing, though, you have a chance. I'm sorry you live in Illinois there, because things are getting really nasty for taxes.
Oh, yeah.
And everything else. I feel so bad for you guys, because it is so wrong, But the same way, technically think about it. In America, we still have 50 states we can roam around. When you're born in Italy or Europe, you're stuck. Where you want to go? I mean, I mean, in Italy, if you're born in Italy, that's it. There is no federalism. That's why I always like federalism. I like the difference. Every state at least should have their own laws. Of course, in my opinion, always should comply with the Constitution, something that here many states they completely get rid of. But at least we still have some good states. You can have a decent life when it comes down to basic rights. Now, listen, Eltenda, any new news about I know I always try to follow you guys. So many great videos on your channel, always great reviews, new guns. Anything you want to talk about? Or one of the latest videos that you somehow produce on your channel, Eltenda?
Thank you, first of all. Second, my channel, of course, everybody never watches it, is Eltenda's channel. It's a very, I call it modest channel, My video like an homemade dish, okay? They might not look good, but I think the content is very rich.
I think they look great, honestly. You got a great audio, you got a great video, you got great graphics. I like your intro, it's so cute. By the way, I never ask you, who did a graphic of you and your lady at the beginning of your intro? Who produced that? I really like it.
My wife, she's a tattoo artist. She
wow, that's always asked. It's really nice comics. She's a great artist. I like it.
Oh, she's very good at it.
Yeah.
Thank you. That being said, I don't have a lot coming up because it's been a kind of rough month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't have, unfortunately. Plus, I want to keep one eye on the situation, And so I have a magazine for the AK, a drum mag from Pro Mag, probably coming up soon. I want to do a video at the same time. I'm going to shoot in a friend property next week.
Okay.
So we're going to test it, and we're going to test the Mosin that my friend made custom. He made a Mosin custom rifle for me. My friend had...
I think I saw you have a Mosin Nagant. It's like a Caribbean Mosin Nagant. That's what I saw. I remember
we make we make something the Jeff Cooper way. It's like a scout Mosin, shorter barrel, big scope, ready to shoulder and shoot, you know what I mean? Like the concept of the scout rifle.
So you put a scope in the forward part of your rifle, like a M14, let's say, scout model, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like the Ruger scout rifle or something like that.
That's interesting. I like to see that.
Yeah, I did a video about it. We did a video about it. And with the same guy, Jay Elite, we did an interview with him. And the second part of the interview, if you're interested about the political situation in Illinois, you might want to watch that too. It's 25 minutes, but it's very interesting. To me, it was mind-blowing. Because he said stuff, I'm like, you know what? I never thought of that. Or nobody never mentioned that, Especially before the election. I wish everybody saw that video. Because might have changed the idea when they were voting. Because we are like clearly in the democratic area, especially around me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with the new governor, which is corrupt, tax fraud, and he's going to be probably arrested, hopefully, like everybody here, governor in Illinois. But and his third thing he promised is go and pass a bunch of anti-gun stuff.
Yeah.
Worst come the simple thing can happen. I mean, the easiest thing can happen is probably they're going to overtax gun and ammo. That would be the minimum can happen. And ban 30-round magazine. That would be the minimum, and I feel it's going to happen.
Well, as I said, I'm sorry for you guys, but at least, I know you got home there, and you got probably family or whatever for you, but I would run, man. If I were you, I would get in the car with your wife, get your dogs, and get out of there. Okay? And anywhere you can find place, a little bit of sun. Doesn't need to be necessarily Arizona, but Arizona is pretty good for guns. Honestly, it's the best place according to Guns and Ammo again. But there are other good places too. If you like cold, I think probably there are other options too, Even they're getting even weird. Look at Montana, what's happening there. They're out of their mind. They lost their mind when it comes now to these local politicians. I mean, well, Wisconsin, but we still have some good places. Fabrizio, I want to give you a hug, and please be in touch with me, and I appreciate your help and input, okay?
Okay, no problem. And don't forget to send me on Facebook your address so I send you the magazine.
Very good. And also, by the way, I was planning to start to look into exporting U.S. Arms polymer to Italy. Just the lowers, not the guns, complete guns, just the lowers without the uppers. I don't know. I'm thinking now that maybe I want to give it a try. As much as I hate Italian bureaucracy, so if somebody is listening from Italy, importers or anybody who has companies who license to import guns, you can contact me.
I know somebody.
Oh, perfect. I appreciate that. USArms.tv. I appreciate if you can put me in contact, Fabrizio, and I'll be happy really much. And if something goes through good, I'll send you an email, okay?
Okay, thank you. Now send me your website on the PM. I can tell you this: as far as exporting lowers, okay, to Italy, in order to export them with an ITAR, I don't have a lot of bureaucracy issue because you have to open a special license if you're exporting a complete gun, okay?
Yes.
By complete gun, so it has to be an 80%.
Yes. Even with the ITAR, because I'm applying for the ITAR license, the State of Department license to export. When I have the license, I should be able to export the lower. What do you think?
Yes, but if it's a complete lower, you got to open a separate license, I believe. Don't quote me on that. For example, when the Italian were importing from Primary Weapon, which is a big company in America, that because France was requesting rifle from them, so the Italian were kind of the guy in the middle, okay?
Of course.
So they have to go to police, open a new paperwork because it's different, so it's a complete gun. That's why we normally send 80% lower, because it's easy to move around, if you know what I mean.
I see. Well, we'll find out, at the point, what I can do, I make the guns here, and somebody is willing to do the paperwork in Italy, I can try to ship as much as I can. But I appreciate your input, and I'll send you an email, Fabrizio, PM. Maybe you can put me in contact. I appreciate it, okay? Sure. Thank you.
No problem. Anytime.
Thank you, Fabrizio. My best to you and your lady, and talk to you soon. Guys, a little break. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. Don't go away. Now we got some exciting news from Kingman Force on Force, where, by the way, I'm broadcasting from. Stay there. Don't go away.
It is time. Get your Arizona Concealed Carry Permit now with Arizona Concealed Carry Permit by Zanna Enterprises, LLC. Become a more responsible and educated gun owner. Carry legally concealed in 35 states. Carry permitted in restaurants where alcohol is served. Learn where and how you can legally carry a firearm in Arizona. Learn where you can use deadly force. When can you display your gun or not for self-defense? Learn how to deal with law enforcement while carrying a firearm. Learn how to be aware of your surroundings and how to avoid a confrontation. Buy your gun without waiting for a background check. Get your Arizona concealed carry permit now. Go to www.azccw.us. Go to www.azccw.us. Free for single mothers and people with disabilities.
Here we go, guys and girls, back to the studio, into the studio. You're listening to Love, Guns and Freedom with luca-zanna. Guess what? I didn't talk enough about what's going on here at Kingman First on Force in Kingman, Arizona, the new self-defense training facility where self-defense is a human right. My Zanna coffee, I didn't have it yet. That's the truth. Today, my coffee espresso machine broke. And guess what? I need to fix it. So I need to realize that without coffee in the morning, I'm not really functioning. So I need to watch what I say. Okay, what's going on here? Kingman First on Force, we have a lot of great activities. First of all, we started now a new era of online training. Yes, listen to me. If you are online, that means if you have internet, and I'm sure you do, especially in this world right now, everybody I think is on internet. And if you have basic speed internet that now supposed to be pretty simple, fast, you can watch our classes live online. We have great seminars. We're going to have now for self-defense empty hand seminars with our self-defense chief instructor, Mr. Keo, and myself. We will teach every day, or at least 3 days a week, live classes of empty-hand self-defense. Especially if you are in countries like, I don't know, Europe or other parts of the world like Australia, New Zealand, that unfortunately your human right of self-defense with a firearm, it is not allowed, because it's not a right, it's a privilege. Guess what? You still have the right to defend yourself, and we want to give you every type of help we can to learn how to defend yourself. First of all, with your mind. The most powerful weapon, it is your mind. And then, of course, with every little inch of your body. This is not a martial arts. These are not a place where you have dojos and rules and belts. No, this is the only belt, it's going to be your gut belts, okay? Whatever's going to be your regular belts, whatever belt you wear for your pants. These are self-defense, real life lessons that can give you the opportunity to defend yourself and learn fast techniques that normally would take years, because we simplify them. We created this system, is an empty hands, real life self-defense system. Is the complete curriculum of level 1. It is exactly 36 hours. 36 hours where you can learn and master foundations of how to think as a fighter, how to try to avoid fights and situations where you can get harmed. As I said, the best fight is the one you can avoid, but also more important, how to defend yourself in case you have to. And sometimes people think, oh, I'm a small person, I'm not very strong. Doesn't matter. Yeah, of course, better be strong, better be big if you can, but that's not the final equation. The equation is, first of all, it is have the mindset, combat mindset. You can be a small little Chihuahua dog, you can still bark and bite even and stop sometimes even the biggest pit bull out there, seriously. Sometimes, you don't realize how much power your mind can have. But also the techniques. Techniques are very important. I don't care how strong you are. If you know how to hit in an effective way the right spots of the human body, you can neutralize almost every human being. That's the reality. That's a fact. So we are here with Mr. Keo, and you will have the chance, if you go to www.kingmanforceonforce.com, to start to see exactly, there is a section for live stream. There is an email place. You can please send your email. Join our email list, and then we can update you our first class. By the way, the first class will be free, just to let you know. You should be very excited about it. It's something that's going to be very, very unique. It's going to be the first class introductory to self-defense, because that's what we do also at Kingman Force on Force. Normally our first lesson is free. So you really know before you commit yourself. And the real commitment is going to be very limited. You can pay for the individual lesson for just $5 a lesson online. Wherever you are in the world, kingmanforsonforce.com, seminars. And it's going to be the complete course. Now, talking about seminars, if you live in the area of, let's say, Mojave County or Tri-State area, we have an upcoming incredible seminar for November the 17th. That exactly is going to be the Empty Hands Self-Defense Seminar. Okay, the seminar will start exactly 8:30 in the morning, and it will be going on for about 6 hours or more. We'll stop at 3 o'clock p.m. Now, limited seats. If you are in Mojave County, this is a great opportunity. You will meet me and Mr. Keo. We will go through the whole curriculum that normally we teach in our Level 1 Empty Hand Self-Defense. And people say, wow, how can I learn all this in 6 hours? Of course, you can't. I wish it would be so easy to assimilate everything in 6 hours. Normally, it would take probably 3 months. But guess what? We have a surprise for you. First of all, this is an opportunity to start to see how to do and perform these exercises correctly. So we will go through every technique. We will show it first with Mr. Keo how to do it correctly. Then we will try to really make you try it in a way that you can try to do it correctly under our supervision. And then you also have a PDF booklet that you can download and print with every technique we'll teach you in the class with photos that you can start to practice at home. That's the most important thing. Then, of course, if you really want to continue in a, let's say, most efficient way, we also invite you to join our regular classes, but you don't have to. At least with this, introduction to self-defense, you don't just go there, sit down and watch us, fighting, or more important, learning how to defend ourselves, showing how to defend yourself for 6 hours. No, we also show you how to do it correctly, so you can keep practicing at home, and if you're not sure, you can also look at our curriculum on the PDF that you will get for free. Now, if you want to join, there is a great opportunity. Normally, this seminar is about $80. But guess what? The good news is if you prepay, listen to me, if you prepay, go to kingmanforsonforce.com and prepay for the seminar, you pay just $39.99. That means exactly half price. Something to really enjoy. A great opportunity, a great gift. It's coming Christmas, or whatever you believe, it's a great gift to give. Okay? Now, another important thing, we do also firearm training here. So we have a CCW class coming for, let's see exactly, the firearm training. You go to Kingman Force on Force, click the firearms link, and you will see that our next CCW class is going to be exactly November the 25th. It's a Sunday, okay? We start at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Sorry, I made a mistake. 1 p.m. No, I thought it was 12 p.m. It's 1 p.m. So that's going to be the class. Incredible class. It's going to be really, really important if you carry a gun for self-defense. Don't forget, this is going to be the class that really could save your life, also could save you to go to jail. We have an incredible curriculum. It's more than 5 hours curriculum, and we try to bring as much information as we can, also more than what the state demands. So if you want to go there, it's a great opportunity. Also, you have a chance to prepay and pay off. Normally it's $85, and you're going to pay just $49.99, a little bit less than half, but still a great discount if you prepay online. KingmanForceOnForce.com. Now, let's go a little bit through the news, okay? Because it's been a very important week, I'm telling you. We had a lot of things going on, a lot of things that disturbed me. Unfortunately, violence, unfortunately, is on the way always more and more. This is not the way we should be living in a country that's supposed to be free. Now we're living a sort of a semi-civil war. This is like the first pre-symptom before the Bolshevik Revolution. Violence is being used. Like during the fascism, when the black shirt used to go around and start to intimidate people at their homes and beating them up. The only thing now it is called Antifa. They're supposed to be anti-fascism. Instead, they are the biggest fascists. We know very well they are supported and financed by people behind the scenes that are not anymore so secretive. The idea is to disrupt and divide, but these useful idiots, they will use violence. That's a fact. They're already using violence. What we do here, I'm concerned that, first of all, in the next few years, as I said at the beginning of the show, this country may face a very deep constitutional, constitution crisis. Because think about it. We're supposed to be a constitution, as I said before, at least a Republican form of government where every individual has the right, defended, protected. Instead now, more and more, they want us to believe, and they made us believe. Look at the old president the last at least 20 years. Look at Bush, how many times he mentioned democracy. Oh, we're going to spread democracy. We are democracy. These people are not ignorant. They know very well that democracy was a terrible word. Our founding fathers despised the word democracy. Why? Let me remind you one more time. I'm sure most of my listeners, they are aware and they are very well educated. But for people, maybe newcomers, especially from Italy, my friends, sometimes they think democracy is a great word. Let me tell you why democracy is a danger to freedom. Democracy means that now people can go to vote, and 51% of the morons out there decide that what you can have for lunch, or they decide what you can really keep out of your income, or they decide how much property you can have. They decide if you have the right of free speech or not. That's democracy. 51% of the people decide about your life. That's a form of tyranny. That's a mob rules. That's exactly what our founding fathers never wanted to be. The idea that we're supposed to have rights no matter who is in charge. There are some unalienable rights they're supposed not to touch. Instead now, this is what happens. Every elections we had to freak out. We had to really have some sort of a nervous breakdown because we knew that when they had the Republicans in power, may not have things bad, but nothing really good happens anyway. Let's be sure. Let's not just blame all on the Democrats. We had 2 years, the first 2 years of Congress with the President Trump under Congress and Senate, completely Republican majority. Guess what? Did you do really anything good? No, we had more spending. Let's be fair here. We had very good gun laws that we were hoping to have, but nothing happened. Let's look at the 50 states concealed carry permits. As much as I hate the word permits, was a big step to create some sort of opportunity and right to have people to cross the state lines and not every time have to beg to bring your gun, like a driver license. It didn't pass. This 50 states concealed carry permit didn't pass, and we had no excuse. The Republicans were there in charge. Think about Obamacare, supposed to be repealed. We had the numbers. Guess what? Republicans stab us in the back. People like the demon of Mr. McCain, Senator McCain. I don't care, he's dead. Hopefully he's rotting in hell, the bastard. Seriously. If you're offended, I don't care. Because of people like him, they destroy the opportunity for many people, American people, to have the chance to afford health care. Okay? And now they are paying the consequences. Some people cannot even afford anymore the fees, or they cannot pay the rent, or they can have an insurance, because this Affordable Care Act, how many times I told you, is nothing but non-affordable. It's a disaster. Maybe for a few of them, or even some people out there that have no income at all may get some free stuff, but guess what? For everybody else, it's been a disaster. People also with cancer and serious conditions have died. Yes, because they could not even keep their doctor anymore. They could not afford anymore the new fees. And why I know that? Because I tell you, I lost my insurance. I could not afford anymore from $150, insurance that I used to pay with Humana, to $550 with the same Humana, with more deductible and much less, benefits. I had to pay 4 times more, or 3 times more, or whatever. So I had to go through other plans, other situations. My point is, you see, Obamacare, you are a disguise, not even disguise anymore, you are this disgusting thing. But the problem is Republicans stab us in the back. So you see, when we have Republicans, probably nothing happens. And that's bad enough, but at least it's not as bad when Democrats get in. Then really you start to see things going down faster. So that's the point. Now we lost the House. Not because I'm a Republican, but, technically, yeah, when it comes to the final vote, I'm not going to vote Democrat, that's for sure. There is no more a Democrat that is even close to what JFK used to be. He was a patriot, may have his own problems, but guess what? Compared to the average Democrat, the man was a freaking patriot. Now we have the Democrats, they are Marxists, declared Marxists, and they are socialists. Look what New York has brought to Congress. I mean, this Mrs. Cortez, she's a declared socialist. If enough of them, they get into power, they will vote us to Venezuela. The scary thing that these people, they are so stupid, they don't even understand it, that the system already failed, but they don't care. They are so brainwashed, and they really believe it. It's going to work. Also, they've been used. The problem, let's not forget, these people, they've been used as pawns by the globalists. The globalists, they need to destroy the fiber of this country. They need to destroy America. They need to destroy a republic. They need to make another third world country. And socialists work for that. When you destroy the border, that's going to be very important for them, because they can inject millions of people that they're going to metastasize like a cancer, this country, and the next election we're going to lose. That's the point. We're not going to lose just an election. We're going to lose freedom forever. Don't you get it? So, I'm concerned. I see things happening. I see new laws every time in different cities, ordinances, completely unconstitutional, try to ban guns, try to ban ammo. In Montana, I told you, they're going out of their mind. Now, another thing that's coming out, creeping out, the meat tax. Meat, meat, animals, meat. I'm not really meat eater. That's my problem, or my business. Doesn't really mean that you have to do what I do. But my point is, the global government, the United Nations, said that now they want to implement a global tax on meat. Because, it's going to be very good for the environment, the carbon tax, the footprint, all that crap that they believe. But more important, they don't even believe it. They make you believe that. Meanwhile, slaves, they want to invite you to eat GMO soy. That's going to make you sterile for sure and give you cancer. By the way, they start to now, propagandize the idea that eating roaches and crickets is really cool. That's what you want to eat. Meanwhile, the global elite, they eating human flesh meat, just to let you know. We talked about that a couple of shows ago. There is this cult of cannibalism. But regardless, they will for sure eat that filet mignon while you eating crickets. Good luck with that. Okay? So the point is, we are facing a very, very important moment as a transition. I hope, I pray, enough good men and women around the world, we will unite together, regardless our religious belief, regardless our language, our color of our skin. This is not about color. This is not about anything but freedom. We're supposed to unite. We got to find a way to unite. We got to find a way to expose these globalists behind the scenes. Look at the good people of England. They voted for Brexit to get out of the European community, and guess what? They're still the politicians in charge, ignoring, forcing this. So this is very important. Italy, I pray for my Italian brothers and sisters. The new government under, Prime Minister Salvini is doing his best, but there is so much negative energy against him and people like him that they mobilize all the, the same stuff like here. All the artists, all the musicians, all the actors try to demonize Salvini just because he wants to defend his borders, he wants to defend sovereignty, he just wants to enforce the laws. That's the point. I feel sorry for my Italian friends who still believe that defending sovereignty and borders, and, they cannot even see the reality that is happened now, has been happening. Their country, my former country, destroyed. You don't need statistics, Claudio, from Rome, my friend. You know that all you have to do, open the window, you can see under your window what type of country Italy has become. A cesspool. A new ghetto from Africa would look probably better, okay? So that's the reality. So all I can say, we have to completely now unite, okay? That's all I pray. And by the way, when people say, it's not okay to be white, no, it's okay to be white. It's also okay to be every color you are. And it's not okay to be a pain in the ass. That's what is not okay. I believe that we're supposed to be proud for who we are. Whatever you are, from wherever you are, it's your roots, that's your ancestor, that's who you are. I'm white, you're black, he's yellow, whatever. Be proud of who you are. But we should never be penalizing anybody, and we should never be, judged by our color, but we should be judged by our own actions. That's a fact. Now, another important thing. If you want to please, support the show, I appreciate it. Go to www.zanna.us, ZANNA.us. You can find any of my songs, you can find my ebooks, and many other things I do. Don't forget Zanna Coffee. That's the way we keep alive freedom of speech on the show. Okay? And by the way, I want always to thank K-Talks. It's an incredible station, AM and FM, to allow such opportunity to talk about everything we want on the show. We have no censorship at all. Now, God's willing, I'll talk to you next Sunday. Meanwhile, I wish you a great week. You've been listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca-Zanna. Ciao.